Hello everyone, good morning. Good morning, my dear students. At this time, my dear students, our topic this morning is very interesting. So our topic is all about subject-verb agreement in standard English. So we have rule number one, subjects and verbs must agree in number. So we have example, the dog growls when he is angry. In example number two, the dogs growls when they are angry. So the subject and verb must agree in number. So that is rule number one. Next, we have rule number two. Don't get confused by the words that come before the subject and verb. They do not affect agreement. So we have example. The dog who is chewing on my jeans is usually very good. Okay, so that is rule number two. Next, we have rule number three. Prepositional phrases between the subject and verb usually do not affect agreement. Example, the colors of the rainbow are beautiful. Okay. Next, rule number four. When sentences start with there or here, the subject will always be placed after the verb. So care needs to be taken to identify it correctly. Example, there is a problem with the balance sheet. So you're going to use is um, example number two. Here are the papers you requested. Mhm. Again, the rule for number four. When sentences start with there or here, the subject always be placed after the verb. Mhm. The subject always be placed after the verb. Okay, so we can actually identify if that is singular or plural. So there is a problem with the balance sheet. And for number two, here are the papers you requested. Next, we have rule number five. Subjects don't always come before verbs in questions. Make sure you accurately identify the subject before deciding on the proper verb form to use. Okay, so we have example. Does Cora usually eat vegetable salad? Mhm. Next, where are the pieces of this puzzle? Hmm. So I clearly understood. Okay, proceed to rule number six. If two subjects are joined by and, they typically require a plural verb form. For example, the cow and the pig are jumping over the moon. Okay, the two subjects are joined by and. So we have the cow and the pig. Of course, require plural verb are. Next, example number two, a car and a bike are my means of transportation. So, a car and a bike joined by and. So that's why you're going to use plural verb are. Okay, thank you so much. Next, proceed to rule number seven. The verb is singular if the two subjects separated by and refer to the same person or thing. Mhm. So we have your example. Red beans and rice is my mom's favorite dish. So even if red beans and rice, but of course they are actually referring to the same person or thing. So that's why you are going to use singular verb is. Thank you. Next, we will proceed to rule number eight. If one of the words each, every, or no comes before the subject, the verb is singular. So we have here example. No smoking or drinking is allowed. Okay, so it is very clear there that the rule is uh, the word each, every, or no comes before the subject. Mhm. So that's why we actually use singular verb as no smoking or drinking. Okay. Next, we have example number 2. Every man and woman is required to check in. Even if we have two subjects, the man and woman, which is actually joined by and, but the rule stated that in rule number 8, if one of the words each, every, or no comes before the subject, the verb is singular. So, because of the word every comes before this subject, we are going to use the plural, singular verb is. Okay, thank you so much. Moving on to our rule number 9. If the subjects are both singular and are connected by the words or, nor, neither, either, or, and not only, but also the verb is singular. Okay, example, Jessica or Christian is to blame is to be blamed for the accident. Is to blame for the accident. No? So the rule number 9, if the subjects are both singular, Jessica and Christian, connected by sing connected by or, so that's why we are going to use singular verb. So this is Jessica or Christian is to be blamed for the accident. So that's why you're going to use singular verb is, because Jessica and Christian are just connected using or, which is the rule number 9. Okay, next, moving on to the rule number 10. The only time when the object of the preposition factors into the decision of plural or singular verb forms is when noun and pronoun subjects like some, have, none, more, all, etc. are followed by a prepositional phrase. In this sentence, the object of the preposition determines the form of the verb. Example, all of the chicken is gone. So we are going to use singular verb is. Next, we have all of the chickens are gone. I'm going to use are because of the chickens. No, all of the chickens. Here, all of the chicken is gone. Next, and because the object of the preposition determines the form of the verb. So that's why we are going to use S. Object of the preposition. Next, we have rule number 11. The singular verb form is usually used for units of measurement. Units of measurement. Example, 4 quarts of oil was required to get the car running. We'll not use where. We're going to use was. That is, we are going to use singular verb was. Even if that is 4 quarts. That is a unit of measurement. Next, moving into rule number 12. If the subjects are both plural and are connected by the words or, neither, nor, either, and not only but also the verb is plural. So we have dogs and cats are both available at the pen. Of course, we're going to use plural verb because of the subjects are both plural, the dogs and cats. Next, we have rule number 13. If the subject is singular and one plural and the words are connected by the words or nor, neither, nor, either, or, and not only but also, you use the verb form of the subject that is nearer the verb. Nearer. For example, either the wild pigs or the cow has escaped from the zoo. We actually use has because the nearer subject is cow. So that's why you're going to use has. Next, we have neither the cow nor the wild pigs have escaped from the zoo. So we're going to use have because the nearer subject is pigs. So that's why you're going to use have. Okay, thank you so much. Next, moving on to rule number 14. Indefinite pronouns typically take singular verb. Indefinite pronouns. Everybody wants to be loved. So that's why you're going to use wants because of the word everybody. Okay. Next, rule number 15. Except for the pronouns few, many, several, both, all, some, that most of the time take the plural form. Example, few were left alive after the flood. So we're going to use plural form of the verb where because of the word few. Next, moving on to rule number 11. If two infinitives are separated by and, they take the plural form of the verb. Infinitive separated by and, so they actually use plural form of the verb. Example, to walk and to chew gum require great skill. Okay, so we have to walk and to chew, so you're going to use require. Okay, next, we have rule number before is rule number 16, now is rule number 17. When gerunas are used as the subject of a sentence, they take the singular verb form of the verb. But when they are linked by and, they take the plural form. So example, standing in the water was a bad idea. We're going to use singular form of the verb was because of the word